Hey, my name is Principal Singh, and I'm running a design studio from Chandigarh called Think 360 Studio. And I have almost 16 plus experience providing user experience, user research, usability testing, branding, consultation, etc. So I work with big giant enterprise customers as well, like Stanford SCI Research, University Canada, and then Juniper Networks, and then Gmalto, Accenture as well. So that's it from my side, and let's start. First of all, thanks to Alicia who inviting me for give UX session kind of thing and little bit chit chat with TDI students. And I think you are really in safe hands because you are studying in the TDI. So she asked some questions about the UX case study, UX research, UX, you can say market analysis. So first question she asked, how do you describe UX and how has it evolved in over the years? So like what is UX? So UX, as you already know, that UX is everywhere. Like it's a very simple example I've been giving you this chit chat session, and if you like it, if you're experiencing good my talking of way, so in nutshell, if I will share you that, okay, you get benefit out of this video and you get decided, okay, you want to pursue your career in UX or not. So in nutshell, if we say that what is UX? UX is everywhere, everywhere. You're talking with your girlfriend, UX. She impressed and she's ready for next date, UX. So UX is everywhere. But let me give you one example. A very practical example is, let's suppose you guys take an example of the telephone, right? So previously on, I'm talking about 18, 19, how the telephone was it? So speaker and microphone is totally, both are two different things. You have to dial the number, then speak like this. After that, telephone comes and like you take the hand, then dial the number. So UX change. But when you go some longer stage, so there is a dial button, then mobile evolve in the whole thing. So then mobile had changed everything, guys. So now, before that, mobile have keypad, now the touch screen. So this is called UX evolution. So UX evolution is based on the technology plus usability. So these both are the, you can say, lines of the train, left and right, and but run parallel. So this is the answer of this question. So what is, and one more thing about it. Let's suppose in COVID-19 situation, I hope everyone is safe and in the quarantine, and you study a lot about the UX in last two and a half months. So let's suppose in the modern world, let's suppose you are talking about COVID-19 situation. So in the COVID-19 situation, what can change, right? So let's suppose now teaching can change, right? Previously you go into the classes, now maybe in the future you will only join everything through the online sessions. So there is no classes because social distancing is important. I don't know when the COVID-19 vaccine will be invented, right? Second thing is, there are more startup will come who are talking about the, let's suppose, video on live sessions, video apps, in different you can say industry, like pharma industry, education industry, medical industry. So situation came in COVID-19. Then what happened? Technology evolved. And then what will happen? Then UX also evolved. So this is a very good example of the current scenario. Second question she asked, what is the most important part of your job? So what part of your work takes the most time and energy? See, the most important thing is, because I'm by profession, I'm a user researcher. I started my career as a branding consultant, and then I evolved into the user research, web application, mobile application, etc. The best and the most consuming part is you have to know your user. because we are building our product, not for our client actually. The client is paying actually, but my client is also building a product for their own user. So if you know user better, then it means your product will be really in a best situation where you can say that okay, it's on the success rate. So the most energy will be you have to spend during the user research, and then proper prototyping, and then there is a one more important thing we normally startup don't totally ignore, that is called branding part, because branding is so important. You have total control of your branding in different channel like Facebook, social media, SEO, and everything. You know, if you want to create a pitch deck report, you need a brand guidelines document, guys. You know, so that is a very thin layer in between the wireframe and the UI design, but you have to fulfill it. So that is the second question, answer of the second question. Third question is, how do you look at a problem? What is the process of figuring a viable solution with design? See, I create, this is a very complex question actually, but I will give you a very answer in a simple manner. Every problem have a solution, right? So rather than thinking about only on the problem, we have to find out the way of the solution. How you can do that? This is very easy thing. There are many easy steps. Like, okay, let's suppose she asked, what is the process of figuring a viable solution with design? So as I already told you, user research, right? So if you have any problem, then go to your user, find out the targeted user, and perform a user research, right? User research testing, you can say, and ask a lot of questions, meaningful question. All question will give you the answers, right? And maybe it will solve your problem. This is the first step. Second step is you have to try to gather competitor analysis reviews. Like you can say that, okay, let's suppose Uber, right? So Uber is one app. So your client said, okay, I also want a taxi app. Okay, so let's do some user research. For the user research, either you have to go into the field, or you have to do some remote research, remote interviews, remote testing, and ask a lot of questions through remote nowadays in this current situation in COVID-19. But second thing is you try to understand your competitors, like through different reviews, study reviews, and get some good pain points of their users, and try to solve those pain points in your app. I think this is important because normally, let's suppose, because guys, I normally work for US and European clients, but it's not feasible for me to every time go in US. So what I do normally, I guide my client, okay, you have to run this usability test, go into the market, ask this question to the different 10 or 20 users, and give me the reply, right? This is the one thing. Second thing is I analyze my client's competitors sitting in this room through internet, and try to find out the pain point of their competitor users. Very simple, you know. So I think in these both ways you can find your you can say solution of your problem. Fourth question is, user research is very important, definitely. Part of UX design, how it should be done. Well, this is actually really important question. I'm not saying it's a complicated question, but yeah, user research is very important. How you will do it? Make a list of a question, sensible questions, share it with your client or their stakeholders, and then just jump into the market, right? Let's suppose you want to create a fruit kind of mobile application. So there you have to understand there is two type of major user. Let's suppose fruit marketplace. I'm talking about fruit marketplace. It's an example. One user is the buyer and second is seller, right? So you have to go to buyer user, 10 user, 5 male, 5 female. Never ignore females, because female thinking horizon is very wide, it's better than male, so always perform test 50-50 ratio, 5 male 5 female on any application, so you will get a better results. Ask the list of the question, all your buyer and seller, then compose everything, right? And then make a user persona accordingly. So user persona in your curriculum as well. So they tell you the technicalities, principles of the user persona, maybe you're aware about it, and accordingly create the prototype. So I use Exuray tool for the prototyping. I start with low fidelity and go to the high fidelity. So you can also use this tool or any other tool. Tool is not actually depend on your creativity or your research. Even you create your wireframe on the paper as well, it's well done. The most important thing is you are making a best usable product. So I think you got the answer of this question. Fifth question is, in the post Covid-19 world, how will the technology change and what we are looking in the future from a designer's perspective? So as I already told you, I didn't read this question before. As I already told you that in COVID-19, the technology will shift from you can say physical world to remote world, right? So you have to think that all new products evolvement according to this perspective, So new chat app, video app, and new live streaming apps in different industries, pharma, medical, healthcare. These all are in the same industry. Then the food industry, home delivery will be the prominent thing. And in the food industry now, all restaurant will think that, okay, how they can maintain their social distancing. So that can be another kind of vortex will evolve in this restaurant industry. And third is education industry. That is very important. So to maintain the social distance until we get the very good vaccination or a perfect vaccination of this COVID-19, because every country is claiming that we got the COVID-19 vaccine. So I think this is the answer of this question. What advice would you like to give to the building designers? The right answer of this question is, if you want to be a good designer, you have to understand your subject, right? And this is a very basic principle. It can apply on doctors as well, it can apply on lawyers as well. And second thing is, never ever kill your hunger of knowledge at any phase. Like you spend 2 years in designing, you are perfect in designing, right? And you can create any type of UI, okay, how to create the UI. So your hunger should not stop over there. Now you have to learn more about, let's suppose, HTML, right? Because if you design and if you don't know that how to develop a mobile app or a web application or the process, you can never design a proper UX. Because if your developers say, hey man, this is not possible in development, what you will do? You have to make a solution accordingly, right? So the most important thing is learning is so important. Keep learning, keep reading at least 2 to 3 articles, good articles. Follow blogs, follow bloggers, or follow good UX designers internationally, right? And start reading books. Because if you follow any particular book, right, and I can also suggest you some books. Let's suppose, let me open my library. Hold on. I normally read book in my iPad because it always along with me anytime. So I want to show you some you can say collection of my books, what type of books I'm reading right nowadays. How to switch the camera? No, I can do it. So these are the books I'm reading. So there is one book which I really love it. I started it initially. That is called The Elements of User Experience. This is one of the finest book. So I want to tell you that okay, you have to read, right? So read good books. Like I started reading with this book, The Elements of User Experience. And for user research, I read this book, Think Like a UX Researcher. It's written by David Travis and Philip Hudson. So you can read both books if you wanna learn deep study about the user research and user experience, right? So I think last answer is it will so these are the best advices according to me, and it will definitely will take you from, let's suppose, beginner to intermediate, and from intermediate to advanced level. So the right challenge will be appear after this TDI course is you have to perform on the live task, right? So this is the most important and challenging part. So for that you have to uh, you can say you have to be ready for each and every challenges, right? And you have to know the process, exact process of the UX. When you will know this thing, then you can crack any type of challenges in your UX career startup. So this is the answer of all questions, and I hope you will enjoy this. My name is Principal Singh,